Have you ever stumbled upon a verse in the Bible that just stops you in your tracks, one that feels like a scene from a fantasy movie? Well, get ready. Because we're diving into one of the most mysterious and debated topics in biblical history. Nephilim. Who were these giants of Genesis, and what's the real story behind them? The main passage that sparks all this curiosity is Genesis chapter 6 verses 1 through 4. It says, "When man began to multiply on the face of the land and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive, and they took as their wives any they chose." The Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward when the sons of God came into the daughters of man, and they bore children to them. They were the mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. So, right away, we have two key groups, the sons of God and the daughters of man. The big question is, who are these sons of God? This is where the theories really start to fly. The first, and probably most popular theory, is that the sons of God were fallen angels. Proponents of this view point to other ancient texts, like the Book of Enoch, which isn't in the Standard Bible but was widely read in ancient times. The Book of Enoch goes into great detail, describing a group of angels called the Watchers who descended to earth, took human wives, and taught humanity forbidden knowledge. Their offspring were the Nephilim, described as giant hybrid beings who brought chaos and corruption to the world, according to this view. This widespread wickedness was a primary reason for God sending the Great Flood. It sounds like something straight out of a blockbuster movie, right? But not everyone agrees with the angel theory. A second major interpretation suggests that the sons of God were not angels at all, but were actually the righteous descendants of Seth, Adam and Eve's third son. In this view, the daughters of man were the ungodly descendants of Cain. So, the story isn't about supernatural beings interbreeding with humans, but about the holy line of Seth mixing with the unholy line of Cain, the Nephilim. Then, were their children mighty men and men of renown, who were perhaps powerful rulers or warriors, but their birth marked a spiritual decline as the righteous lineage compromised its faith. This interpretation keeps the story entirely within the human realm, focusing on the importance of spiritual purity and separation from ungodly influences. So which one is it, angels or humans? The text is famously ambiguous, and scholars have debated it for centuries. The word Nephilim itself comes from the Hebrew root naphal, which means to fall. This could mean the fallen ones, hinting at their angelic parentage, or it could simply mean they were fellers, as in, those who cause others to fall, like powerful bullies or tyrants. What's even more fascinating is that the Nephilim, or giants, are mentioned again after the flood. In the book of Numbers, when the Israelite spies scout out the promised land of Canaan, they come back terrified. They report seeing the descendants of Anak, who were descendants of the Nephilim. They said, "And there we saw the Nephilim, and we seemed to ourselves like grasshoppers, and so we seemed to them." This raises another question. If the flood wiped out everyone, how did the Nephilim or their DNA survive? Some suggest that the angelic activity happened again after the flood, while others believe Nephilim might have become a more general term for any large, intimidating people. Ultimately, the identity of the Nephilim remains one of the Bible's great unsolved mysteries. Whether they were the hybrid offspring of fallen angels or the powerful children of a broken holy line, their story serves as a stark warning. It speaks to a time of profound corruption and a world spiraling so out of control that it required a divine reset. It reminds us of the constant battle between good and evil, and the consequences of blurring the lines between the sacred and the profane. What do you think? Were they angel-human hybrids or just powerful ancient warriors? Let me know your theory in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching and exploring this ancient mystery with me. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe to my Bible and Pictures for more interesting Bible stories. Until next time.